All right. Let's see. Alright, so that is working. Alright, y'all give me a minute. Alright! So let me close that out on my computer. Close out on Blue Sky. Alright, I'm gonna make sure that I have everything set up and ready. Hey! Okay. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do that. I probably should have figured this out before I started doing this. Alright. Now I'm going to cut to here. Oh, there goes the music. Nah. Song is nice, and it is copyright free. So, let me figure out how I want to do this. Now I'm going to see if I can't make a... Can I make a browser source? Let's see. Browser source. Whoa. No, that's not gonna work. Dang it. Remove the browser source. I'm going to add back the music because I'm having trouble. So put that on to keep the I guess one of these zoomers be Jin Alpha kids entertained. I have none of those in my audience, I'm pretty sure. I might have a few. Let's see. Oh, window capture. Let's see. There we go. Alright, give me a minute. Okay. So, can I set this back? No, I'd have to set this below the V2 Studio. There you go. All right. So this will be the official lore stream. Now, here's hoping and praying I don't get interrupted in the middle of it. Let me go grab my jacket. Because the thing about this is that I got somebody who might call me away in the middle of it, and I'd have to go pick them up and bring them here. It's a short drive, so if I have to like leave in the middle of this, I'll just probably start from the top. Just so everyone knows and is aware. Here, let me move my model. Wait a minute. Huh. Studio mode moves everything. Hang on. Huh. That's weird. Excuse me. I'm looking at stuff. I'm just confused because I'm looking at scene stuff here and OBS. But usually, like if I can't click and drag whenever I have studio mode up. So preview programs. That's not it. Duplicates. There we go. There we go. That was it. That's the control I was looking for. OBS knowledge is increased. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm not procrastinating. That's not the word. I'm getting off track. That's what I'm doing. I am getting horrendously off track. Is what I am doing. Right. If I. Oh no. Hang on. If I do that so that I can view it while I have OBS up. Oh no. Hang on a minute. If I then like lessen that, go into here, make it bigger. Yes, that works. Cut. Boom. Bingo. Aha. Okay. Now let me move it up here. Move this here. Move me here. Down here. My tail frustrates me sometimes. Like, look at this thing. Look at it. Look at it. Like, it's all in the way. It is all in the way. Oh, yeah. Probably before I start, put the lower stream here. Okay, now that I'm done wasting time. There we go. I forget that I had to cut. Yeah. So now that I'm done wasting time, let me pull up my lore documentation. Alright. So, excuse me. This is a character sheet I have created for the character of Sparky. After a friend of mine from a Discord server I've been in for a while asked if I had Vtuber lore, I had nothing to show for it. And I did not know at the time that VTubers had lore. So, I now have it. I won't be left in the dust. So, the character is named Raiju. The full name, Ezra Adler, from birth. However, he has a second name, Akira Adachi. You'll understand why in a minute. The title of Raiju is given for his natural power to control electrons, for my natural power to do that. And boy, I'll tell you, I love electricity. I love it. And what it lets me do, what electricity will let you do is so varied. Just think about almost anything, and you can do it with electricity, if you have fine control. Another nickname he has is Fulgur, a code name they given to him on governmental documents, which is Latin for word lady. And of course, the name Sparky is a stream name, because guess what? This lore ties into the stream itself, making the streams canon. Gender male, obviously. 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 Do I look like a woman to you? Yeah. The alignment, chaotic good, because yeah, that's more fun. Lawful good, boring. Like every other like alignment is boring till you get to chaotic. Every time. And age 21, race human bat fox hybrid, as I've said before, flying fox. That's the nickname. Though I don't have wings to fly with. Hair color. I mean, everybody sees that, right? You can see that. I'm a white guy, brown hair, blue eye. 5'9", 150, smaller person. Facial feature. You guys know, you can see me, right? I don't need to go over this. I really don't. Because, like, look. Let me pull on V2 Studio, right? You can see me, right? Right? I'm not... Actually, you know what? I might actually just stream with this up as it is here. Yeah. So that people get, like, a good view. But no, this is my full body here, right? This is what I look like. So, now you know. That, I think I can, here, let me like widen the lower page a little bit in some directions. Cut. Gotta move. Where's the V2 Studio? There you go. Move that over. Yes. Cut. Perfect. Better. Excuse me. So you guys all can see this, right? You don't need to know anything about my appearance, because look at me. Alright? See that? You see the cute belly, a big fluffy tail, this big eyes, sword, the outfit, like all of it. Personality. Now here's the kicker. These days, Raichu wants little more than to work his job on weekdays and stream on weekends. His time as a child assassin, yes, I was a child soldier. An espionage agent is long gone. However, that love of fighting and of violence, as much as he knows it's wrong, is a part of him he can't escape or deny forever. He's usually kind enough, if a bit blunt or crass at times, while he tends to be the one in the back of the room at family and friend gatherings. He's the first to jump to their defense. Those who you call friends mean the world to him. And... Excuse me. I've still got a cough all these weeks later. Religion and philosophy. Follows the same faith his parents do, even though he doesn't read up on the subject. He believes in the faith wholeheartedly. I'm not specified because, well, reasons I can't give. Like, I don't know why I didn't specify exactly the faith he believes in, but I guess I just didn't. And likes is pretty much everything you've come to like me for. To help the character feel a little bit more canon in streams, I've made it, I wouldn't use self-insert exactly, but it's pretty close to that in concept. So you got streaming, video editing, video games, martial arts, electricity, anime, manga, comics, writing, movies, Mexican and Italian food, ninjas, obviously, history, science, sharks, foxes, bats, friends and family, zombie media, and unintentionally funny B-movies, because who doesn't like one of those? And dislikes is willing ignorance, senseless violence, politics, zealots. Oh, if you guys will excuse me, I'm going to have to mute myself for just a second. I will be right back, okay? And where is it? Media. Boop, boop, boop. And cut. Hello? Alright, I'm on my way.
going off, I know it's time to make a change, and I can take the pain. You wanna sink or swim? I'm gonna go down swinging. Look deep within. I get lost in the feeling. I just need a win. I'm gonna find my meaning. I can make a change. I wanna play the game. You wanna sink or swim? I'm gonna go down swinging. Look deep within. I get lost in the feeling. Just need a win. I'm going off. I know it's time to make a change, and I can take the pain. You wanna sink or swim? I'm gonna go down swinging. Look deep within. I get lost in the feeling. Just need a win. I'm gonna find my meaning. I can make a change. I wanna play the game. Yeah.
Have fun with that. Okay. I have returned. Everything is running properly? Yes, it is. Hello, everybody. Let's see, where were we? Right here. I'll Okay, let me notify on Discord, and there we go. Just to make sure everybody who's in there can make sure that, just make sure they know that I'm back. All right, so where did we leave off? We left off on religion, philosophy, likes and dislikes. So likes, yeah, greedy video game companies, dolphins. Which honestly, I would be correct in calling it a self-insert because a lot of these are things that I definitely don't like. Not a fond of people who are ignorant for the sake of being ignorant. Ignorance isn't bliss. It can actually be very much criminal. Very much so. If somebody, like, say, is being willingly ignorant of something for, like, their own gain, it's just something I've seen lead to a lot of bad things, personally. Senseless violence, violence without reason is not very fun. It's like a fight, like martial arts style, like I've done in the past, that's fun. But if it's just for the sake of it, Politics? Who likes politics? Like, actually, who enjoys it? I have to think that the people who do it for a living don't like it very much because they are never happy. Except for very niche situations. Dolphins. I hate dolphins. With a passion. I hate them. Because they get such a good reputation despite the fact of the things that they'll do to people and their own kind and other animals. They're nasty. Greedy video game companies. Does it need to be said? One of my favorite games of all time is Dead Space, and you know who owns that? Cash grabs. Same kind of deal there, I'll be honest with you. Poor written films, bro. That's another pet peeve, IRL too. Poorly written stuff. Just generally. Whenever I know I can write something better, it bothers me. Especially this modern trope that a lot of modern writing has, where everybody makes this incompetent character for the sake of being funny. Like, ha, so incompetent, so stupid. Like, shut up, you're annoying. Like, it's every other, like, thing. It's like almost like how Marvel humor was becoming. Like, don't joke in this moment. It's not appropriate. And you just sound like an absolute, just, I don't want to say, you sound like an ass. Whenever you joke in some of the situations that modern media will have people joke in this awkward, socially inept manner. Like, I'm socially awkward, but I'm not that bad. And then, of course, injustice is because that's self-explanatory. Who likes that? What sane person likes that? And then streaming, you know me. I like to stream. I'm a streamer, funny streamer, man. Video editing, video games. Y'all know that. Martial arts, though. Martial arts is something that I have been, like, a part of since I was, like, young. I did judo and karate for, like, a very short time. I was just too young, too wild to be able to actually, like, dedicate myself to it. But when I did Shaolin, I got really into it. Electricity. That is where my degree fields lie in, and I love electricity. It is something that I understand in a great depth. And if I had it as a superpower, I could do a lot of stupid stuff with it. Anime, manga, comics, all that stuff. Love to watch some anime, read some manga, read a couple comics here and there too, because like some Marvel stuff's decent, some DC stuff's decent. You just gotta look for the right writers though. Writing, I do writing projects all the time. I mean, just look at this. This was created from a template I made. Movies. Who doesn't like a good movie? Mexican food and Italian food. I see where I grew up, there were like a bunch of Mexican restaurants and a handful of Italian ones. We've been going to the same specific Mexican restaurant since I was born. That entire place basically watched me grow up, so of course I'm going to put that in the character. Ninjas. I have an obsession. I'm not going to hold you. I do. I have an obsession with ninja in terms of history, accuracy, and just style. I love it. I don't like Naruto very much. Never watched it, don't plan on it. Just because Naruto bugs me sometimes, I'll be honest. That's a personal gripe. History. think what I said about ninjas there's kind of makes that self-evident. I mean, I like history a lot, especially when it comes to warfare. Science, electrical science, that kind of thing. Sharks, love sharks. Love me some foxes, love some bats. And, you know, friends, family, self-explanatory zombie media. I love zombies. I love it. I love Resident Evil in particular. That's my favorite. Custo could tell you how much I love Resident Evil. I got him to stream a Resident Evil game at one point. And funny B movies. You want to watch a good B movie? Look at Killer Sofa, Velocipaster, what else? Machete. All of those are just like, you can tell they were working with so little, but boy did they want to try something. Hobbies. All of these, pretty much. What's the word I'm looking for? These are things I'm not averse to, right? Gaming, streaming, training. I still do martial arts stuff, like on my own time. I'm not like trained like formally anymore, but I do try to keep on top of at least the movements and the concepts, philosophies, electrical studies. I'm always looking for electricity. Like stuff like new like knowledge for electricity and how I can use it, how it can be applied. It's interesting. The further you go down that rabbit hole, the more it seems that electricity is a force of doing about near anything. Experimenting with powers, because if you have electric powers, wouldn't you want to use them? Building models of mechs and other things. I do some more hammer, and right here, I don't know if it can be heard, but I have a box of a Gunpla from the Red Comet Zaku that's been sitting on my desk for a while, and I need to take it out, put it out of frame, and build it. I am going to do that. Then I'm going to get a model of the Gundam Unicorn, because I just finished watching Unicorn, and I love that. That is one of my favorite. I think it might be my favorite anime of all time. Honestly, Gundam Unicorn. It is that good. Let's see, what else? Read manga, comics, went over that. Watch animes, movie, went over that. I mean, that's self-explanatory in the modern era. So senses. Hearing of a bot. Bot. I can't speak. I'm going too fast. Hearing of a bat. Sense a smell that a fox has. I mean, it's obvious. Wouldn't a hybrid have those powers, especially with these big old mighty listeners? Now, electric power. This is for this specifically I wrote because there are a handful of people, I know some of them in little groups I'm in, that have an interest in VTuber lore to the point of like seeing it in a power scaling sense. So this is there for that. So that people who'd like to do that, look at it, talk about it, so that they can have fun. Assuming they even look at this. So, the electric heart, the one power the character has. It has a bunch of sub-powers in the ways it can be applied, and this is a little bit of a list. It's one that will grow. It'll grow with time. So, by technicality, Raiju only has one real power: generation and manipulation of current flow from the beat of his own heart. However, he has pushed this power to the absolute limit, stunning the world at what can be done with potential difference in a closed circuit. He is incredibly creative, allowing him to make new uses for his power on the fly. What is listed here is by no means the extent of what he can do, but it is all the stuff he has done so far. So let me tell you some things about electricity. If you have complete control over the electrons that you generate. Electron flight. Capable of manipulating his own electrons to either walk on the air or fly. Ion control. Can ionize anything and control it with tethered electrons. Insulators like rubber and wood do nothing since since Raiju has control of how the electrons ionize. So, what does that mean? You see, there is nothing in this entire world that is immune to electrical flow. Not even rubber. Nothing. Everything has electrons, meaning electrons can go from point A to point B. It's just a matter of how much work you have to put in to get them to transfer. To the point where some of it is near impossible, but it's not impossible, especially if you have fine control over your own electrons. Meaning, insulators will not save you. If you have atoms, you have electrons. And if he can introduce his own electrons into you, he could tear you apart. Hence, electron manipulation, or electronic manipulation. This can manipulate electronics, remotely control almost any electric device, cause it to overload or shut it down. Because electrons is the language of all machines. Run on nuclear power? Guess what's controlling it? An electric device. Hydraulic machine? There's an electric control. Only things with analog controls could really resist something like that, and even then, still could shut it down and make it go haywire. Now, electron phasing. This one, it comes from me reading Flash stuff. I love the Flash. I love Green Lantern, love Moon Knight, and I love Daredevil. Those are my goats when it comes to comic books. Those are my boys. And the Flash is the top ranking one of mine. So I was thinking, you know, if you have direct control over your electrons, I'd be able to phase through anything like he does. So, electron phasing, capable of vibrating his atoms through electron manipulation to become fully intangible. In this form, he can walk through walls like he's a ghost. Now tell me you can't imagine the implications of that. Does anybody remember Titanfall 2, right? And the phased, pilot. Phase into this other reality, and if you phased inside somebody, you blew them up from within. I could do that. Now, next is super speed, because I can't be a Flash fan without giving my character super speed. Capable of moving faster than lightning at FTL speeds, and the upper limit of the speed is unknown. Because I gotta go fast. Storm Call, capable of controlling weather patterns to a degree through electron manipulation, because that is one thing that electron manipulation can also do. Not to the level that Storm could do in Marvel, because that'd be stupid, but it's something I can mess with. Make tornadoes of thunderclouds, call down storms of lightning, and that's namely what I can do. At least with that ability. System Shock. Pretty sure this is obvious by now, but with electron control, I can just, punch someone with an electric fist, kick them with an electrically charged boot, that kind of thing. And Bolt Toss. Y'all know the superior spell to Fireball in D&D and Baldur's Gate? Lightning bolts. Instead of a big bomb that you chuck, it is a massive forward beam of just raw power. Tangible raw power. It is going to pierce everything in the way. It's like a final flash. I love that. It could not have that. And then the Electric Eye, which, by the way, Electric Eye, that is a reference to one of my favorite bands, Judas Priest, and one of my favorite songs of theirs. Just in title alone. And Judas Priest, if you are seeing this, please, 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 do not sue me. It's not being sold for nothing. I swear. I am not even monetized. You can't do this. Also, I love you. Mwah, I love you guys. Anyways, Electric Eye is a boosted perception, able to see and think as fast as he can move. Of course, you need that to be able to have super speed at all. Alright, now let's get to the rest of this. Storm Skin. Training with his powers toughened him. His electron bonds are incredibly strong, making the young fox incredibly durable, as he'd have to be to survive his powers in the first place, i.e., tough little guy. Electron Sword. I could have named this something else, I might later, but we'll see. So it can create swords of electricity with a perfect edge, or enhancing his existing sword with electricity. I can if I can mess with these things, I can basically make constructs like a Green Lantern would. Electron barrier, capable of making barriers of electron bonds using atoms in the air, incredibly difficult to pierce through. Force fields of electric power. Electron healing, can heal using vibrations and electron manipulations to force wounds shut. I cannot speak today. Man, I'm frustrated. Anyways, O2 slowdown, capable of breathing in space by manipulating the atoms in his exhalation to reform into oxygen. So, yeah, what that is that whenever you breathe out carbon dioxide, right? And oxygen is O2. The formula for carbon dioxide is CO2. Because I can mess with electrons and the bonds, I can safely split the molecule and then take back in my exhalation as oxygen. I can't be suffocated unless with water. Because water is H2O. That would be a lot harder to do. Electron pressurization, meaning that I can pressurize myself using electrons to, change body pressure. That means I can't get crushed at the deepest of the ocean or explode out into the vacuum of space. And Earth render. This is a fun one. I only put this one here sheerly for the singular purpose of making people question how every single character with electric powers is written in comic books, manga, anime, TV shows, and movies. Because this makes them all look like idiots. It really does. Earth render. If he ionizes the planet, Ezra could break it apart with ease. He hasn't done that, but he has definitely used ionized ground for cheap wins and fights. Excuse me, there's a typo there. I'm mad. I put all this work into it and I got a typo. Bruh. Alright. And of course, because I need a super form. Lightning Breaker. Install super. Dragon install. Turning his body into pure energy, Raiju gets a 2x increase to speed and strength, and a 3x boost to maximum electric power. That means nothing. Really, it does. It's just hey, maybe I'll commission an animation with something really cool in it later. Maybe. Not today, but maybe. Alright, mental overview. Ezra is laid back and aloof usually. Takes a decent chunk of personal beef, high stakes, raw power, sheer pressure, or even just straight up stubborn prodding to make him lock into a fight. He's fighting less as a fun thing, but okay, excuse me. That's another typo. I am so frustrated. I have 2 typos I had to fix on stream. I'm embarrassing myself. I'm gonna go back in time and I'm gonna slap myself across the face, and I'm gonna kiss myself violently and be like, "Bro, why'd you do that to me?" I can't be making jokes like that. It's July the 1st. Okay, so back on topic before I break my own mind. This was laid back and aloof usually. Yeah, I've already read that. Sees fighting as a fun thing, which tries to avoid under any circumstances that isn't a friendly match or a necessary brawl for the sake of himself or others. Beyond that, there isn't much more to tell. Because there really isn't when it comes to this. Because this is mental in a fight. That's what this means. This is, can you touch his mental? Can you make it mess up? Or the general philosophy and mindset they have going into a fight. That's what this is. These are how you make them mess up. His character flaws and strengths is character strengths. His character strengths, namely, is a strong will and power understanding. He's very good at electrical science and very good at making new powers on the fly. Just because it's all different variations of how you apply electrons to things and how you manipulate them to create the effect you want. Strong will, typical Uh, Unbreakable Human Will Enjoyer here. Green Lantern Enjoyer. Like, that stuff, I have a weakness to it. Like, I love it whenever people, like, have this stubborn crackhead energy and won't give up. Like, the Moomin Riders of, like, One Punch Man, or, say, it's the Simone the Diggers. Like, the I won't give up kind of energy and attitude. I love seeing that in characters. I love it. I love it so much. It's like almost all my favorite characters have something like that. And also then there is passivity, because nowadays Raiju has very little interest in fighting without a good reason. As hot-headed as he can be, it does not translate to him being violent. He'd rather fight within the confines of a video game to prove a point than do so in real life. But if someone politely asks for a friendly duel, he won't turn them down. They'll just need to move to an area where people won't get hurt. And then the character flaws, I'm going to expand on this. And then, I don't know if I'm going to make like a full-on update stream. Gotta go? Okay, that's fine. Enjoy yourself. You go into the Warhammer story? That show. I'm sure you're going to tell me later, though. And everybody say goodbye to Costo, the mud. Okay, now back to it. So as I was going to say, I'm going to expand on this, and I'm probably going to make at one point, whenever I'm finally satisfied with everything in the lore, a video that goes over it in a more professional sense. Right now, I'm just reading off a character sheet. But later, I will, this isn't like, I will, because I really want to do it. I will make a video detailing all of the lore in a way that is a lot more satisfying. And read out the sheet as a I'll read out the sheet as a as if I am the character cataloging it, because this is written to a degree, as especially in the biography, as if somebody else is writing this. But that's for another time, which is why things like character flaws is not as many, because I'm going to at least have one or two more. But the one that makes sense, given the strong will, is that he can be easy to misdirect because he'll lose sight of most things around him and tunnel vision straight on his objective. Now, weapons. Raikiri, Stormcutter. That's the sword. Made of a very powerful conductor, sheathed within a scabbard that is an incredibly powerful insulator. What that does is it basically means while he's standing outside in a thunderstorm, he's not going to get struck by it. Because he's essentially carrying around a sharp lightning rod. And because of the nature of the character, storms do tend to follow him. Surprise, surprise. Now, the scabbard for this... Hang on, excuse me. I'm not talking about the scabbard, I just finished. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm talking out my butt. I really am. Anyways. The sword itself is your typical, like, Japanese sword crap, you know, very strong, super durable, very sharp, that kind of thing. And the character doesn't use it. He doesn't like killing, not anymore, so he doesn't want to use it. It's more or less just something that he carries on his back. Besides, fighting with your hands is more fun than fighting with a weapon. As somebody who's done like sparring and stuff, like it is way more fun with without a weapon, more often than not. Now, the Sutumaga, or Suto. I'm gonna have to look up the pronunciation of that again, because I am butchering it, 100%. I am 100% doing that. And if somebody speaks Japanese, they're gonna like grab me by the throat, strangle me, and then I'm not going to finish that. I'm not going to finish what I was about to say. I might actually get banned for that. But they're not going to treat me very nice. Stormgun in English. Stormgun is a little weapon that combines the genius electrical knowledge of Raiju with the second-to-none firearms expertise of his father. The gun fires metal atoms at high speeds, using Raiju himself as a power source. Shot count in this gun is extremely high, capable of withstanding a week of sustained fire before needing a reload. The gun looks like a small SMG with a foregrip, though it can be used one-handed just fine. It is next to no recoil, thanks to using Raiju's electrical power to charge and fire each shot. Raiju can bend the projectile's trajectory on the way if he wants, and control their speed. The projectiles can approach and surpass FTL speeds. Now this is kind of inspired by the electric guns of Ultra Kill. Just straight up, the atom-based, like metal dust being used as an ammo, electric charge. I couldn't help myself. That was such a cool idea. Like, Kikita had a actually plausible idea there. And as somebody who loves electric stuff, I just could not use it. So thanks, Kikita, for the idea. You're amazing. Faction. Formerly belonged to the Arashi clan, but he no longer swears fealty to the Storm clan. These days, he's more involved in work and streaming than he is any sort of combat role. So... excuse me. So this is what I meant by it's written like somebody else's like cataloging this. I kind of have a weakness for files made like that for characters. So if I make a character like in say D&D or for other roleplay stuff, it's going to be written from a third-party perspective more often than not. So, person of interest file number 939. Subject, Flying Fox Raiju, call sign Fulgur. Raiju is a unique person of interest for our organization. He came under the raid... I am going to restart that. I'm going to get a smooth reading for this, and then I'm going to go to bed cringing at my performance today, because this is bad. I want to cry. Anyways. Raiju is a unique person of interest for our organization. He came under our radar during a string of mysterious blackouts now known to have been caused by infighting of a cabal of espionage artists that answer to the name Arashi, or Storm Clan. Raiju was a part of this clan at some point, it seems. While observing how he valiantly fought against the traditional rule of Arashi, it was clear he had a talent none of them possessed naturally. Raiju is able to generate and discharge high currents of electricity from his heart, like a living generator for AC power. He's able to use this power to achieve a level of super speed as well, according to field observations. This kind of power is usually achieved in the Arashi clan via some sort of mystically attained power not dissimilar to magic, but far weaker and less potent than Raiju. His electron manipulation is nothing to be underestimated. There's footage of him using his electron tethers to uproot an entire skyscraper. If he makes an ionization field, the only limit to what he can manipulate is how much power his heart can output. If he ionizes someone with his electrons, he could rip that person apart at the atomic level if he so chooses. He has also used electrons to heal, walk, or run on the molecules in the air, fly by manipulating his own atoms' electrons, control electrical devices, manipulate computer data, shut off cameras from a distance, the list goes on. He's very creative when it comes to electricity, and it's useless. Beware, you may get a genius idea in the middle of a fight. Raiju apparently was displaced from his family as a child, stolen by the clan from his family at a young age. He was brainwashed into forgetting them, but he would remember his original name and family in time. He fought the Old Guard and helped a revolutionary movement reform the Arashi clan from simple mercenaries into a sort of response team that specializes in safeguarding the world from mystical threats. The current Arashi clan takes great pride in beating back the fantastical threats to our world nowadays, and they've been surprisingly pleasant to work with so far. After Raiju helped the rebellion, he would take his much overdue leave and finally return to his family. He regrets a lot of what he's done, he's hurt people and enjoyed it sometimes, even when he shouldn't. What is clear is he has little interest in returning to his old ways, and even less so in getting into a fight for no good reason. His knowledge of electrical science and machines is intriguing due to his understanding being inherently innate. His powers give him a vested interest and unique perspective in the field. Despite this, he currently is living life as a streamer, making gaming content of all things, going by the name Flying Fox Sparky. Sound familiar? It should. It's peculiar, at least from the outside in, for all that power, agility, and years worth of martial arts and espionage training to be wasted. But after what he's been through, one could hardly blame him for wanting to live an easier life. And that, my friends, is the lore of the character. Now people can stop telling me, hey, what's your VTuber lore? What's your VTuber lore? I know that most of the audience here doesn't say that because, like, a lot of my close friends don't necessarily watch here. I think some of them are subscribed, but they're not, like, actual, like, stream watchers. But now I actually have lore that I can pull if anybody ever has interest in it, so I don't have to worry about that or, like, deal with that no more. Here, read the file. And that will be the stream. So, once again, I would like to thank all of you guys for watching. Now, this is a different stream, a very different kind of stream than I'm usually doing. I usually do some sort of video game or pop around from game to game. But I felt like this one would be fun, especially because being an indie VTuber and seeing that so many VTubers have actual, like, lore and stuff and story and a bunch of crazy superpowers. Like, good lord, they have a lot of crazy superpowers. Like, that is something kind of crazy. But, seeing that, I was like, you know what, why don't I try my hand at that? So I'm a little bit more than a pretty face now. Well, as always, I would like to thank everybody for showing up and watching. I saw a couple of unique people showing up in the chat numbers. Only Custo was speaking, but I know you guys are there, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. Helps me get my numbers up, helps me actually maybe make something of myself with this. So, once again, thanks to everybody for watching. And I will see all of you in the next one. Bye-bye. I can take the pain. You wanna sink or swim? I'm gonna go down swinging. Look deep within. I get lost in the feeling. I just need a win. I'm gonna find my meaning. I can make a change. I wanna play the game. You wanna sink or swim? I'm gonna go